Have you ever walked into a room and felt someone's presence before they even spoke? They were not trying to impress anyone. They were not loud. They were not showing off. Yet somehow the entire space felt calmer just because they were there. That kind of presence does not come from appearance. It comes from inner energy. At Stoicism Breath, we call this silent magnetism inner strength. In a world where everyone is chasing attention, trying to stand out, trying to be seen, something powerful happens when you stop trying. The less you force it, the more magnetic you become. True attraction is not about what people see on the outside. It is about how they feel when they are around you. People are not drawn to you because you look better. They are drawn to you because with you, they feel safe, calm, and understood. Stoic wisdom teaches us that lasting attraction comes from self-control. A calm mind is the foundation of inner beauty. When you stay composed in chaos, when you respond gently to criticism, when you remain kind even when ignored, you send out an energy that makes others trust and respect you. Real magnetism is not about how others judge you. It is about how you respond to life. And today on Stoicism Breath, we begin exploring 6 timeless Stoic habits that make you magnetic, not because you are trying to be, but because you are becoming your true self. Peaceful, confident, grounded in quiet strength. Habit 1 is simple but rare. Truly listen. Think about it. How often do people really listen anymore? Most conversations today feel rushed. While someone is speaking, we are already preparing our reply. We are waiting for our turn. But listening just to respond is not real listening. True listening happens when your mind becomes still. There is an old Stoic teaching that says we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we may listen more than we speak. That lesson is powerful because listening is not just something you do with your ears. It is something you do with your full presence. When you give someone your complete attention, you offer them something incredibly valuable. You make them feel seen. You make them feel understood. You make them feel respected. Pause for a moment and remember a time when someone truly listened to you. They did not interrupt. They did not check their phone. They did not rush to fix your problems. They simply stayed present, silent, calm. And somehow, you felt safe enough to open up. That is the power of a true listener. They do not need fancy words. They do not need advice right away. Their presence alone creates connection. The Stoics saw silence as a form of strength. When you stay quiet to listen, you are not being weak. You are practicing self-mastery. You are letting your ego step aside. You are choosing understanding over being right. And that humility creates a quiet confidence that people can feel. In a world where everyone tries to speak louder to be noticed, the person who chooses silence to listen becomes the most captivating presence in the room. They do not need to impress. Their focus is already magnetic. When you truly listen, you send a powerful message without saying a word. You matter. Your story matters. And deep down, that is what every human being is searching for. So start small. In your next conversation, put the phone away. Look the person in the eyes. Slow down. Listen not just to their words, but to their emotions. Practice being fully present. Because mastering this one habit alone can change your relationships, deepen your connections, and quietly transform the way the world responds to you. This is just the beginning. Stay with Stoicism Breath, and remember to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next lesson on building inner strength, emotional mastery, and a calmer, more powerful life. When someone is speaking to you, pause everything inside your mind. Do not prepare your reply. Do not judge their words. Simply look at them. Notice their voice, their eyes, the emotion behind every sentence. Listen not to respond, but to understand. This small shift changes everything. And here is something most people forget. You can also practice listening to yourself. Spend a few quiet minutes each day sitting in silence. Notice what your mind is saying. Listen to your fears, your hopes, even the silence between your thoughts. When you learn to listen inwardly, you naturally become more compassionate outwardly. Your understanding deepens. Your presence softens. True magnetism does not come from clever words. It comes from how people feel around you. A good listener makes others feel seen. And in today's world, that feeling is worth more than any compliment. So practice the art of listening. Let your eyes speak. Let your silence become a safe space where others can open up. When you do this, you do not just become someone people like. You become someone they seek out for peace. And that is the deepest kind of magnetism a person can have. Here on Stoicism Breath, we call this quiet power. Now we move to habit 2. Cultivate inner peace. There is a special kind of attraction that cannot be explained. It is the calm strength of someone who stays centered while everything around them feels chaotic. When others panic, they remain steady. When others lose control, they keep a gentle calm about them. Being near them feels grounding, safe, reassuring. That is the power of inner peace. In Stoic philosophy, peace does not mean avoiding problems. It means refusing to let your mind be dragged by them. Inner peace is not about escaping chaos. It is about standing steady inside it. Imagine your mind like a lake. When the water is still, you can see everything clearly reflected. But when the surface is disturbed, the image becomes distorted. Your mind works the same way. When it is filled with worry, fear, or anger, clarity disappears. Only when you calm the mind can you truly see what matters. Peace is not something you are born with. It is a habit you train every day. The next time stress appears, pause. Take one slow breath. Then ask yourself a simple question. Is this within my control? If it is, take calm, focused action. If it is not, let it go. This single practice can save you years of unnecessary suffering. The modern world teaches us to react fast, to prove ourselves, to always be doing something. But those with inner peace choose a different path. They observe first. They reflect. Then they act. That deliberate calm creates an invisible authority around them. A quiet confidence that does not need validation. A peaceful person does not try to look strong. They are strong because they have nothing to prove. They are not shaken by praise or broken by criticism. They are not defined by success or failure. They understand that everything in life is temporary. The only thing that truly lasts is how you carry yourself through change. People are naturally drawn to peaceful individuals the same way we seek shelter during a storm. Others do not need you to fix everything. They simply need to feel safe in your presence. And the ability to make others feel calm and grounded is one of the highest forms of attraction a human being can possess. To cultivate this peace, you do not need to withdraw from life. You do not need to escape responsibility. You simply need to slow down your reactions. Breathe before you speak. Observe before you decide. Choose awareness over impulse. This is the practice. This is the path. And here at Stoicism Breath, this is how we begin mastering the mind one quiet moment at a time. You only need to step away from the thoughts that disturb you. Spend a little time alone every day. No social media. No background noise. Just sit quietly, breathe slowly, and allow everything to pass without judgment. Thoughts will come. Emotions will rise. Let them move through you like clouds in the sky. The more you practice this, the calmer your mind becomes. And when you are truly at peace, you do not need to say much. Others can feel it in your eyes, in the way you walk, in every breath you take. Real peace cannot be faked. It only comes from those who have learned to master themselves. And when you can stand steady in the middle of chaos while still carrying a gentle smile, that is when you become not only magnetic, but deeply admirable. Here at Stoicism Breath, we call this quiet strength. Now we arrive at habit 3. Speak with purpose. Have you ever noticed how some people only need to say a few words and the whole room becomes silent? Not because they are loud, but because their words carry weight. Meanwhile, others talk endlessly, yet no one truly listens. The difference is not in the voice. It is in intention. Stoic wisdom teaches that every word carries power. Words can heal. Words can harm. That is why the wise choose to speak less, but speak with purpose. There is an old teaching that says be silent or let your words be worth more than silence. For the Stoics, speaking is not a reaction. It is a conscious act. They do not speak to win arguments. They do not speak to impress. They speak only when it matters. And when they do, their words carry clarity, calm, and sincerity. That is the kind of language people feel in their chest. Not because you force them to listen, but because they sense truth behind what you say. A person who speaks with purpose has no need to prove themselves. They understand that silence can sometimes be more powerful than 1,000 words. Knowing when to speak and when to remain quiet shows inner control. And inner control is the foundation of dignity and magnetism. In a world where everyone rushes to share opinions, your calm presence stands out. When you slow down and think before you speak, others can feel that you are not talking just to fill space. You are speaking to add value. And because of that, every word you say carries more meaning. Think about the people you admire most. They are rarely the ones who talk the most. They are the ones who make you think after they speak. A single well-chosen sentence can shift someone's mood. It can change the direction of their day, sometimes even their life. But careless words can also leave wounds that never fully heal. Speaking with purpose is also a reflection of your honesty. If your words do not match your actions, people sense it immediately. But when what you say aligns with how you live, you earn something far deeper than attention. You earn trust and respect. This is the practice. Pause before you speak. Ask yourself if your words are necessary. Ask if they are kind. Ask if they are true. Over time, this habit will transform how others see you and, more importantly, how you see yourself. This is how quiet confidence is built. This is how inner strength becomes visible. And this is how, with Stoicism Breath, you begin mastering your presence one intentional word at a time. The Stoics taught us something simple but powerful. Do not talk about calmness. Live it. Words only carry weight when they are proven by the way you move through life. And remember this. The way you speak to yourself matters even more than how you speak to others. Harsh self-criticism, constant comparison, and silent judgment are conversations that quietly damage your inner world. Instead, learn to speak to yourself with patience and kindness. When you treat your own heart gently, you naturally begin to treat the world with compassion and confidence. Anyone can sound persuasive for a moment, but someone who speaks with purpose leaves a lasting impression. True magnetism in speech does not come from volume or clever words. It comes from the state of your mind. When you speak from calm sincerity and wisdom, your words travel far beyond the noise. So speak less, but make every word count. Let your silence carry meaning. Let your words reflect your inner peace. When you speak with purpose, you do not just make people listen. You make them respect you. Here on Stoicism Breath, we believe this is how real presence is built. Now we arrive at habit 4. Face adversity with courage. No one walks through life without hardship. Every person, no matter how strong, will experience moments of loss, betrayal, or failure. There will be days when your heart feels heavy and your confidence feels shaken. But it is not these moments that define you. It is how you meet them. True magnetism does not come from the smile you wear when everything is going well. It comes from the calm you maintain when everything feels like it is falling apart. A person who can stay composed in the storm, who speaks gently even while carrying pain inside. That is the kind of person others never forget, because in them, we see what we are all searching for: inner strength. Stoic wisdom teaches that adversity is not an enemy. It is a teacher. Every obstacle carries a lesson. Every challenge holds an opportunity to grow. Just like iron becomes strong through fire, a person becomes resilient through hardship. Resilience does not mean you never feel pain. It means you do not allow pain to define you. You may fall, but you rise again, calmer, stronger, wiser. That is resilience. The quiet power of someone who has walked through storms and still keeps a warm heart. When hardship arrives, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask instead, "What is this trying to teach me?" That single question changes everything. It shifts you from being a victim to becoming a student. And the person who can learn from pain is someone who can never truly be defeated. There is a Stoic idea called love your fate. It means embracing everything life brings, not just the good moments, but also the difficult ones. The Stoics did not merely accept reality. They welcomed it as part of their growth. When you learn to embrace even imperfect moments, you realize that adversity does not weaken you. It deepens you. It steadies you. It strengthens your spirit with every breath. A person of true strength never needs to announce it. Their quiet endurance speaks for them. They do not complain. They do not blame. They do not seek pity. They stand up, brush the dust from their shoulders, and continue forward. And that simple, unbreakable image is what makes them truly magnetic. This is your reminder from Stoicism Breath. Do not fear adversity. Let it shape you. Let it refine you. Let it reveal the strength that has always been inside you. Remember this: others may never fully understand what you have endured. They may not know the nights you stayed awake or the battles you fought in silence. But they will feel your strength in your eyes. They will hear the calm in your voice. They will sense the quiet confidence in the way you carry yourself. And when you can smile in the face of adversity and still choose to move forward, that is when you become more than strong. That is when you become truly admirable. Here on Stoicism Breath, we call this living strength. Now we arrive at habit 5. Value integrity over approval. One of the main reasons people lose their natural magnetism is because they try too hard to please everyone. They say what others want to hear. They do what is expected. They shape their lives around the opinions of the crowd until, little by little, they forget who they really are. And here is the irony. The more you try to be liked, the more invisible you become. But when you choose to live truthfully, guided by your own values, something changes. Even those who do not agree with you will still respect you. Stoic wisdom teaches that living by principle matters more than being popular. If what you do is right, do not concern yourself with what others think. People may praise you today and criticize you tomorrow. But integrity never changes. Integrity is your inner compass. It keeps you steady in the storms of opinions, judgments, and social pressure. Integrity means having the courage to live honestly even when it is uncomfortable. It means saying no to what goes against your values even if it disappoints others. It means telling the truth even when silence feels safer. And the beautiful truth is this: a person of integrity never needs to announce it. They show it through their actions, through their eyes, through the way they treat people when no one is watching. Many of us have been through a phase where we tried hard to be accepted. Maybe you changed your voice, your style, even your beliefs just to fit in. But sooner or later you realize that approval from others never brings real peace, because it depends on something you cannot control. When your self-worth is tied to how others see you, you will never feel enough. A truly magnetic person is not someone loved by everyone. It is someone respected for their consistency. They do not change themselves just to receive praise. They do not compromise their values just to feel safe. They do what is right even when they stand alone. And that consistency creates a powerful energy, a quiet authority that draws attention even from those who disagree. Stoicism Breath reminds us that your worth does not come from applause or recognition. It comes from virtue. There is an old Stoic insight that says no one can live happily while enslaved to the opinions of others. When you stop chasing approval, you begin to find yourself. And when you find yourself, you become magnetic in a way no one else can copy. Integrity does not make you cold. It makes you trustworthy. People may not always agree with you. They may not share your values. But they know you will not deceive them. They know you will not betray yourself. That is why people of integrity are often the ones others turn to when they need honest advice, a steady presence, or a reliable source of strength. Living truthfully is not always easy. There will be moments when you feel lonely. You may be misunderstood. You may even be labeled difficult. But remember this: being temporarily alone is far better than permanently losing yourself. Those who walk away because you choose to live authentically were never meant to stay. And those who remain stay because of who you truly are, not the version you pretended to be. In time you will see that integrity carries a quiet kind of magnetism. It does not need to be displayed or explained. People simply feel it. They admire it in silence because deep down they know you are someone they can trust. Remember this from Stoicism Breath. True light does not need to prove that it shines. It simply does. And darkness fades on its own. When you live according to your values, you no longer need to chase recognition. You become the source of light others naturally feel drawn to. Here on Stoicism Breath, we call this quiet strength. And that brings us to habit 6. Focus on growth, not perfection. So many people are obsessed with being perfect. We want to speak without mistakes, act without errors, and live without failure. But the more we chase perfection, the further we drift from who we truly are. Perfection is an illusion. Growth is the real path forward. A truly magnetic person is not someone flawless. It is someone who never stops improving. The Stoics understood this deeply. They did not seek perfection. They accepted that life is a continuous process of learning, and that mistakes are part of the journey. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that if you fall, get up and keep moving forward. That is victory. In Stoic philosophy, failure is not the end. It is training. Think about it. Your muscles only grow after they are challenged. Your mind becomes stronger only after it faces difficulty. There is something interesting about perfection. The people who try hardest to look flawless often feel distant. But those who openly admit their struggles, who share their unfinished journey, inspire us. They feel real. They remind us that we do not need to be perfect to be valuable. We only need the courage to learn. True magnetism does not come from doing everything right. It comes from never stopping your growth. Someone committed to self-improvement carries a special energy. Humility, persistence, authenticity. They do not boast. They do not compare. They do not compete. They know they are not perfect, but every day they try to become a little better. And that makes them likable, admirable, and unforgettable. Think of someone who is gentle with themselves. They do not punish themselves for mistakes. They treat mistakes as lessons. They do not collapse after failure. Instead, they ask, "What is this teaching me?" They understand that every fall is a chance to grow, and every scar is proof of a brave life lived. Stoicism teaches that happiness does not come from perfection. It comes from strengthening your character day by day. When you focus on growth, you stop fearing mistakes. You become more flexible, more open, and kinder to yourself. You do not need to be your best version today. Just being a little better than yesterday is enough. Here is the magic. When you stop trying to be perfect, you become genuine. And that is when people start connecting with you naturally. Because everyone is tired of pretending. Everyone is tired of wearing masks. When you choose to live honestly, even imperfectly, you give others permission to do the same. And that creates the deepest kind of human connection. So do not fear mistakes. Do not be ashamed that you are still learning. Instead of asking, "Am I perfect yet?" ask, "Am I improving from yesterday?" With a little more patience, a little more discipline, and a little more trust in the process, you will see change happening. Not in dramatic leaps, but in steady, honest steps. In the end, the most magnetic person is not the one who has already arrived. It is the one who keeps walking with steady eyes, an open heart, and a learning spirit. Because life does not require perfection. It only asks for progress. And if there is one thing Stoic wisdom always reminds us, it is this. You cannot control the outcome, but you can always control your effort. Focus on the journey, not the destination. In that journey of growth, you do not just become stronger. You become magnetic in a way no outward beauty can ever match. When you look back, you will realize that true magnetism never came from appearance, words, or status. It came from the peace, self-mastery, and honesty you practiced every single day. The 6 Stoic habits: listening deeply, cultivating calm, speaking with purpose, embracing adversity, living with integrity, and focusing on growth do not just make you more magnetic to others. They help you rediscover yourself. Because when you truly master yourself, you stop needing to prove anything. You stop chasing approval. You realize that real worth is not found in other people's eyes. It is found in the respect you have for yourself. A person with inner strength is not someone who is always right. It is someone calm enough to reflect, correct, and continue growing. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us that nothing brings peace to the soul except being true to yourself. When you live this way, your magnetism becomes natural. People will feel it in your eyes, in the way you listen, and in the quiet consistency of your actions. So if this message resonates with you, remember this. Choose growth. Choose progress over perfection. Choose peace over performance. Choose to become the truest version of yourself. This is Stoicism Breath. And together, we are building the kind of inner strength that makes you both calm and deeply respected in a noisy world. Because in the end, the most enduring kind of magnetism does not come from making people look at you. It comes from making them feel at peace when they are near you.